Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. The Viking here, of course, and this is my review for episode 9 and episode 10 of season 1 of The World Beyond. But it's kind of a combined review because they did air both episodes one after the other as a kind of a joint a season finale, I should say, not mid-season, but yeah, season 1 has ended, and I'll probably do a video about the review for the whole season. A few things to talk about. All together, I enjoyed this season. I had a lot of fun with it. Some nice mystery to it, and I think it expanded the Walking Dead universe world. So overall, it was a good watch. But this episode, these two episodes, episode 9 basically not much happened. We got to see Elton, of course, on the road on his own, but he finds Percy, who is passed out with the bullet hole. We find out somebody shot him. We find out later in the episode who it was, but I'll get to that. But yeah, so Elton, of course, not used to being out in this world fighting walkers, has to deal with protecting himself and also protecting a knocked out Percy, unconscious Percy. And yeah, so he starts to hallucinate. Percy starts coming to life and talking to him and kind of playing, his head starts to play out of him, because his anxiety levels are pretty high. He finds out about his mother. He has to leave the group, people he thought it was his family. Yeah, and this, he's trying to protect Percy. But I thought some of the shots in this scene were absolutely brilliant. This shot here on the hill beside this lake, absolutely brilliant. And then the shots of the slow motion walkers walking towards him, some of the best shots I've seen in the Walking Dead episode for a very long time. Probably up there with the season finale of episode 16 of The Walking Dead of season 10, with the one with the mask going down, all the walkers falling. Pretty cool shot, but this one was pretty cool as well. So he's hallucinating, he's there with Percy, and they're trying to kind of figure out what happened with Silas, talking about everything. So I really enjoyed that scene, even though he was kind of hallucinating, and that's kind of a trait that's been overused in many movies and shows over the years. But here I think it actually worked pretty well. But Elton is able to overcome his fear. He's able to say, look, I'm going to protect myself. He had a chance. He actually was going to leave Percy behind. He was walking away, but then he changed his mind. He said, no, I need to be brave. I need to stand up to these walkers. And look, he's a small enough kid, a teenager, and look, here's 4 walkers coming at him, and you know what? He does pretty well. He takes down the 4 of them. He uses his kind of size as an advantage, kind of wire cable to tie around them so they fall. Yeah, so that was pretty cool, and it was cool to see him do that. Something different you wouldn't really see, because you're used to seeing adults fight these walkers and just hit them in the head and that's it. But he's a smaller guy, and he maneuvered around them pretty well. So he's dragging Percy along with him, which was altogether pretty cool. We didn't get to see Silas in this episode. We get to see him in episode 10. So basically we have Hook. We know she's a mole. We know she's a spy working for the CRM. And yeah, she's basically trying to get Hope on her own, because Hope is the asset. Hope is the one that they want, that CRM want. But one of my favourite scenes from this episode was when Percy woke up and Elton was on the walkie-talkie. He had found Hook through the walkie-talkie. He was saying, we need your help and stuff. Then Percy stops Elton from talking on the walkie-talkie and saying, don't trust her, she's the one that shot me. So we find out exactly what happened to Percy. He was shot by Hook because they didn't want them around the group, and Silas was being blamed for it. And that's probably part of Hook's plan, is to get rid of everyone else so she can transport Hope on her own to the CRM, because that's the orders that Elizabeth, her mother, gave her. That's the orders the CRM gave her. So yeah, basically they want Hope because she's special. That's the kind of thing that they want. I'll get to that as well. She is the acid, she is the A, and this is probably a little glimpse on what the A's and B stand for. A is for acid, someone who's going to be an important asset per se to the CRM. That's exactly why they want Hope. But Hook here kind of tarnishes Felix's leg. She cuts someone out of known to slow him down, so he has to stay behind. He can't walk, so that means Iris has to stay with him. So yeah, it's Hook and Hope on their way to the CRM. But look, Hope isn't stupid. She is a smart enough girl, and she finds some kind of map with some kind of codes on it, and she decodes it, and she finds out she's the asset and Hook is a spy. So she finds out fairly quickly. She steals Felix's gun. She sets upon the journey with Hook, and I think her plan is to kill Hook. That's the plan. But yeah, she kind of doesn't want to do that. She's not a killer. She doesn't want to do what she did to Elton's mother again, so she backs out, and that the two of them fight off some walkers. And okay, Hope gives in, and they say, look, we'll go to the CRM. But meanwhile, Iris has it all figured out that Hook is not to be trusted. She's the one who has been slowing them down all this time. And even the room that Hook told Iris not to go into because some people had committed suicide was actually a supply room, which would have healed Felix's leg quicker, and he would have been able to go with them on the journey to the CRM to New York. But yeah, so we find out fairly quickly, and I thought the ending for that episode was pretty cool, where Hope decodes the code awesome stuff. But for me, episode 10 was brilliant. I enjoyed this episode a lot. And I think if they just released these episodes week by week, it wouldn't have had the same impact. I think putting the two of them together, because episode 9 was a little bit weaker and episode 10 was pretty strong, I think it made for a great 2 hours of television to watch them back to back and really understand where this story was going. So they find Silas, they meet up. Percy's able to tell them exactly what happened. Their uncle was shot by Hook. Hook is a mole. She's a part of the CRM, stuff like that. She's not to be trusted. So the three of them meet up, but also on their tail is the CRM soldiers, which are pretty cool. And in the end, Silas ends up giving himself up to protect Percy and Elton so they can get away, which was pretty good from him. And I can see Silas, I should say, as being a soldier for the CRM. I think he's that built, he's that mentality. As I said, he's my favourite character in this Walking Dead spin-off. And I think for him, he will now be going to the CRM. What are they going to do with him? They probably won't kill him. He'll probably be in season 2, but I could see him being a soldier of some capacity or working for the CRM in some kind of job. But I think he's too big and he's able to handle walkers on his own. I think they will use that and put him as an asset, as an A. But yeah, in the episode also we got flashbacks to Felix and his love life with this character here. The two of them were kind of working for the community, for the campus, and they fell in love with each other, and that's all cool stuff there as well. Some pretty good emotions. We also kind of get flashbacks to Hope's and Iris's father and his interaction with Felix and all that kind of stuff. But also in this episode, we get a look at the CRM, the inside of the CRM, where Percy and Hope's father, the scientist, of course, is there with, seems to be he's found some love himself with another doctor, but she is not to be trusted either. She seems a little bit crazy, and it's flashing back and forth to that she is the one who told the CRM about Hope and that she was special because their father was talking about how special Hope is. And look, that kind of whole situation where Hook explains that the CRM wanted Hope because she was special and this is the only way to transport her to the CRM. Maybe it's some kind of a test that they go on this journey. I didn't really believe it, and I thought that was probably the weakest part of the season, the reason why they wanted Hope. But as as Felix and Iris catch up to Hope and Hook, they figure out that Hook is not to be trusted, and yeah. But I thought this scene in the house where the house is burning down was a pretty awesome scene. This kind of Star Wars lightsaber fight between Hook and Felix was pretty well choreographed, and fair play to the actors and the stunt team who did this, because this is probably one of the best action scenes you'll see in the Walking Dead universe. Pretty high paced, and it felt really, really cool while watching it, and had me kind of on the edge of my seat. I really like this a lot. But yeah, so we have a scene now where Hook is probably about to kill Felix. She will do anything to do what she needs to do for the CRM. But Hope, of course, is very smart. She threatens to kill herself. And the thing is, the CRM seem to be brainwashed in having the world a certain way, and they need A's to make the world thrive and maybe get it back to the way it was. That's why they have scientists working on cures and stuff. And the CRM believe that Hope will have the same mentality, the same genes as their father, and she will be smart and the next scientist to help in the research for the cure. But we find out in the episode as well that it's not just Hope, it's Iris as well, because the father is going off Hope fixing a computer when she was 6 years old. But then we get a scene where it shows that Iris is actually the one that helped her, and then it's actually the two of them who should be A's or acids. But Iris is a very smart character, and I would argue she is more smarter than Hope. But the CRM think Hope is the acid, and Hope is making them think that as well to protect her sister, which I pretty much really like. But how long will they go without knowing, I should say, that Hope isn't really as smart as her father in that aspect? That's a lot of pressure to put on a kid for the next generation to save the world. But this scene was pretty cool. She threatens to kill herself. Hook obviously stops because she believes in this kind of mentality that the CRM have. And yeah, but so Hope decides to go with Hook, and so they're split up. And Hook agrees not to tell the CRM where they are, just to go their own way. She'll bring Hope. It's all for a better cause and all stuff like that. We get this cool scene here where the helicopter comes down, Elizabeth, the CRM soldiers, and they make their way to New York, I presume, to meet with Hope and Iris's father, and for her to start her kind of an internship as a scientist helping to find the cure. But as the episode goes on, as I said, we found out that Iris is the one who helped Hope. So really, Iris is probably the asset that they need. She is the kind of smarter of the two. And yeah, but as they said in the episode as well, the two of them work well together. So everybody is split up. We've got Hook, we've got Hope heading to New York, heading to the CRM. We've got Iris, we've got Felix together on the road. We've got Percy and Elton together, which is a pretty nice combination. I like those two characters as well. My favourite three characters are Silas, Percy and Elton. And it's a pity that they got broken up. Silas, of course, captured by the CRM and is heading to the CRM. I presume New York as well, maybe. And then we also have season 2 coming of another 10 episodes, so it's all pretty interesting stuff, and I'm looking forward to it big time. Look, what The World Beyond has done is it's expanded the Walking Dead universe. We've had Fear do that, and now World Beyond. And I was expecting a lot more Rick Grimes references, but I just watched an interview from Scott M. Gimple. He says not to expect stuff like that. Okay, but I really want to see the Rick Grimes movies, and I want to see Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, return as this iconic character, my favourite Walking Dead character, and the reason I tune in every single week in anticipation for over a decade nearly. So, yeah, overall this season pretty good, and I stuck with it. First episode brilliant, second episode wasn't that great, but as the season went on, the episodes got better, the characters grew on me, I really liked them, and Silas for me is my favourite character, and I'd love to see him pop up in other Walking Dead shows, but I'm looking forward to season 2. It's another 10 episodes. After season 2, this show will end, and it's supposed to give us more exposure, more background to the CRM, and help us understand what kind of circumstances Rick Grimes himself has found himself in. But overall, I really like this. Will any of these characters appear in the Rick Grimes movies? I think it's a possibility, of course. Yeah, it is a possibility. I think some of them can hold their own, but also for stakes to feel like to really grab us in this show, we need to see some people die off as well, you know. But they all survived the first season, and overall I think they all had great character development. I like the flashbacks, looking at the characters' past lives and what was going on with them, especially Silas. Elton had a pretty good backstory as well, and Phoenix is a pretty interesting story. But Hook, it also looks like the Hook doesn't know that the community, the colony, has been butchered, that they've been massacred. She doesn't know that either. So there's a lot of stuff, and I think she probably will turn good in the end when things go right in season 2. But season 2 is supposed to be bigger, and of course Felix and Iris Felix finds his the love of his life, and he has a community of his own. So what happened there, that he was told to leave the CRM or escape the CRM, even though he left with their father, Hope's and Iris' father. So it's all interesting, some mysteries for season 2, but overall a pretty good season that will make me come back for more. But look, The Walking Dead season 10, absolutely brilliant stuff. Fear the Walking Dead, absolutely brilliant. Those 7 episodes, some of the best on television this year, and I'm not joking about that. And World Beyond had a good 10 episodes that interested me, so I'm coming back for season 2. I can't wait for the Fear additional episodes. I can't wait for the Walking Dead additional episodes. Season 11 of The Walking Dead, which is going to be split up into 3 parts apparently, maybe. So we might get 30 episodes left, so 10, 10, 10, maybe something like that, which is pretty cool. It's like an extra 3 seasons on top of it, 3 mini seasons. So look, it's all cool stuff, more content, Tales of the Walking Dead coming. And guys, I'll do more Walking Dead videos if you want. I really enjoy talking about The Walking Dead. I love the zombie genre, and yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And also, guys, if you go to my podcast, The Movie Buffs, you'll find the link to that in the description. I talked to the cinematographer for Justice League, Fabian Wagner, and also this coming week I will be talking to a director of a zombie movie, of a zombie comic, of a zombie series, and also a game that has spun off about all these things as well. So that's something to look forward to. I'm a big fan of the zombie genre, so it's cool for me to talk to filmmakers that work in that genre. But guys, let me know your thoughts on World Beyond as a season in a whole. What did you think of? What do you think of this season finale? A lot of mysteries brought up, and I might do a season 1 review, overall review or discussion about this. But guys, get in the comments, let me know, subscribe and all that stuff. Thanks for watching, and don't get bitten by a walker, please.